What's up guys, welcome to Munchkins Gaming, where we take your gaming to the next level. This is Munchkins logging in to bring you another Dissidia Final Fantasy Opera Omnia video. And welcome to my video guide for Keiss' event. And of course this is going to be concentrating on the Chaos fight. Now as always, like and subscribe if you haven't already. It does help my channel guys, and I really do appreciate all the support that you guys give me. And the like goal for this video is still going to be the same, the 50 likes guys, just 50 likes. Now without further ado, let's start this video. Now we'll start this video off with the last boss's abilities, weaknesses, resistances, and the elements that it can absorb. Now the BIOSOUL is going to have no weaknesses nor any resistances or any elements that it can absorb. And as for its abilities, it has its Brave attack, which is going to be a melee Brave attack, Wallop, which is a melee HP attack, IV Screw, which is a melee Brave attack, and also increases his Brave, and inflicts a max HP down debuff. This also has a plus variant, which is going to be pretty much the same, however it will delay the target by 1 turn. It also has Slime, which is a magic Brave attack, which inflicts a speed down and sap debuff. This also has a plus variant, which again pretty much the same. The added version basically delays the target by 1 turn. Next it has Shake Off, which is a group melee Brave attack, Garden Grab, which is a melee Brave attack, which also inflicts a attack down debuff. This will also have a plus variant, which delays the target by 1 turn. Next up, it has Sylvan Union, which is going to be a melee Brave attack, which moves its own turn just after its allies and reduces the Brave damage taken. The party turns cannot be delayed by break when they end up using this. Next is Union Severed. Basically, this will cancel the Brave damage reduction and inability of break to delay turns from Sylvan Union. Next up is Venomous Liquid, but basically recovers itself from its break status and will do a magic Brave attack plus HP attack. This is going to be a guaranteed hit. Next is Life Powder, which grants the target Brave, and a couple of texts that you will see. Moving Nimbly, which basically raises attack, defense, speed, and initial Brave, and max Brave. This is going to be the Enrage mechanic. Next is more text, which is Tail Raise High, which basically increases all its stats, and Tail Raise Higher, which basically increases its stats once again. And it is also important to note that this boss is immune to a couple of debuffs, which are Poison Sap, Max HP down, Speed down, and Turn Rate down. Okay guys, now let's move on to the general tips and guide, and the first one here is going to be the same as it always is. Now, for a while now at least, go all out with just a few HP attack here and there. There is only going to be 2 waves here. The first wave is pretty easy and you shouldn't have any trouble even if you don't use up most of your abilities. Do try to save them as much as you can for the final wave. The next one is going to be, of course, to bring in the boosted characters. They will have 50% more stat, which are Keiss, Zidane, Cloud, and Alphinaud. Next, other characters that you may want to consider are Galuf, Zack, Snow, Agrias, Tifa, Vayne, Ramza, Yuri, Ultimisia, Golbez, Jack, Keiss, Bartz, Exdeath, General Leo, Fujin, Lightning, Beatrix, or Jet. Just be careful if you are planning to use Jack. These bosses do have a guaranteed hit. And of course, for your healers plus Brave battery options, you have Selphie, Ignis, Aerith, Lena, Rosa, Penela, Hope, Arciela, or Ishtola, and of course Alphinaud is added here as well. And for the summon, you can bring whoever you want. Again, I am kind of biased and I like Shiva the best. Alright guys, now let's move on to the general strategies that I use that help me beat this fight, and hopefully will help you out as well. Of course, we'll start this off with your friend support. You do have a lot of options for your friend support. You have Keiss, of course, if you want more launch damage. Arciela and Aranea are still pretty good here. Arciela more defensive, Aranea, it just does her Aranea thing. Next up is Delay, Freeze, Paralysis, or HP Silence are still going to be your friends here. They are going to be useful since the boss aren't immune to any of these debuffs. And of course, you know, Delay Tactics still works. Next up is you can bring a debuff immunity character to prevent debuffs, especially that max HP down can be pretty scary, especially if it's inflicted on your tank or your other characters at that if you don't have a tank on. Now, characters that can prevent debuffs are of course Lena, for example, and Ignis. Selfie can do this to a lesser extent, of course. She does have a lower percentage. It's not a 100% debuff immunity, but nonetheless, she can prevent this from happening at the very least. Next is, of course, to bring a healer and a tank. Just a healer just to heal you through some of the damage, especially if your tank ends up getting one hit by, you know, a huge amount of brave. Hopefully your tank, whoever you choose, will have last stand. So tanks like Zac or Snow or Galuf really works. I highly recommend bringing Galuf here because he can counter pretty much everything, well, not everything, pretty much mostly everything that the boss can throw at you. And the last thing for me possibly is going to be just to kill the bosses almost at the same time. There is an enrage mechanic here. Like I said, once dies, it will move nimbly and will have an increased overall stats, and you just want to avoid this as much as you can. Okay guys, now let's move on to some possible party compositions that you may want to use in order to clear this fight. The first one is of course going to be your boosted team. Now for this one, it's Keiss, Cloud, Zidane, and Alphinaud. You can interchange Cloud and Zidane, whoever you want. I think it's a much safer choice to have Alphinaud in your team since you will have a healer. Now of course you can definitely beat this without using Alphinaud, however it is just a much safer choice. I would highly recommend having another Keiss as your friend support in Shiva for your summon. Keiss for the launch battery plus DPS, Cloud Zidane for damage, Alphinaud again for the heals and battery. Okay, so the next team is basically what you're seeing here on this video, which is the team I use, which consists of Keiss, Cloud, and Galuf with RNA as support, and Shiva for the summon. Just a slight variation from the boosted team. Keiss and Cloud pretty much the same thing as Composition 1. Galuf for the cover tanking, and he can actually survive a one-hit KO with his last stand. I guess it's not considered a KO anymore if he will survive, right? But nonetheless, I think that is the term we're just gonna go with. Now for the next team, I honestly told myself I would use Lightning for every Chaos difficulty fight, and I actually forgot because I've just been so busy. But here's a team with Lightning. This consists of Arciela, Alphinaud, and Lightning with an RNA support, and Shiva for the summon. Arciela, again for the HP silence and heals, very useful. Alphinaud for the extra heals and battery, and of course he has his offensive tank stance as well, and he will do some damage. Lightning for the damage and delay. Now the last team we have here, of course, is going to be your delay team. They are still going to be very potent. So even though the launch meta may sort of come back because of Keiss, the delay team is still very powerful. So generally a Lightning and Aranea with Aranea support and Shiva for the summon. And again, just delay. Alright guys, we're towards the end of this video, and of course I'll give you guys my final thoughts about this fight. Overall, I didn't find this fight difficult at all. I think the most scariest thing here is if you do get inflicted by that max HP down. Now, I did end up using Galuf, which pretty much prevents me from getting that max HP down as long as I have cover on, since basically they will keep on missing that attack, because Ivy Screw is a melee type of attack, which Galuf really prevents from happening from all your team. So very helpful to have Galuf along, and made this fight a lot easier. And of course, if you do have Arciela, makes the fight a lot easier as well. And if you end up pulling for Keiss as well, obviously that will make it so much easier. I mean, if you have that trio for a team, I don't think the boss will be able to kill you off, and you should have a pretty easy time. So overall, this fight for me was much more on the easy side. There's really nothing that really scared me more than the max HP down, because with that debuff on your team, it can really screw up your runs. So while the Venomous Liquid is pretty powerful, especially if it ends up breaking you, and this is something Galuf cannot block unfortunately, or cannot evade, because it is a guaranteed hit. So with Last Stand, you should be fine. As long as you can heal back up to at least 50% of your HP while you wait for the next venomous liquid, you should be fine. Anyway guys, that's it for this video. Please do remember to click like once again and subscribe if you haven't already. It does help my channel and I really do appreciate all the support that you guys give me. Again, hit that bell button if you haven't already as well, if you don't want to miss any videos on my channel. And again guys, the like goal for this video is very small, 50 likes, and I would really appreciate it. And of course, follow me on Facebook and on Twitter as well at Munchkins Gaming. Leave down in the comments below which team you use. And this is Munchkins logging off. Thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next level.